This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Netflix. We've got an extra sexy episode for you today, full of Mega Men, infestations, and Conrad Zimmerman giving Catherine a mustache ride. Stay tuned. Sorry about that wind, guys. I don't know where that came from.
It's a mystery. Windy mystery.
Anyway, welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Happy Wednesday, Max.
Happy Wednesday.
I heard some news broke right after we wrote our script
right
today.
when we were working on this script here thing, found out that the roster for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the Ultimate Edition, got leaked, and we did not have a chance to stick that in here. We'll probably talk about that on Friday, as Comic-Con is rapidly
the news
approaching.
story on Destructoid.com though will probably be up before this episode comes out. So if you're really interested in that piece of news, then go check it out.
The internet is a fast place to get things.
In the meantime, I've got some news. Would you like to hear it?
Is it about Mega Men?
It is, actually.
Okay, carry on.
So immediately after Monday's episode of the show came out, Jonathan Holmes wrote a post up on Destructoid.com saying that Mega Man Legends 3 was officially canceled. Capcom didn't really give much of a reason why, but they did say that their decision was based on a number of criteria with input from different sectors of the company. Unfortunately, it was not felt that the Mega Man Legends 3 project met the required criteria. Turns out some people were so upset over the cancellation, they decided to bomb the game's Wikipedia page by adding their own edits. One person cited the reason for the game's cancellation saying, quote, "It was canceled because Capcom sucks ass." Another person just wrote, "Capcom is gay."
Citation needed.
You won't see any of this now, of course, if you go to the page, since Wikipedia stamps down pretty hard on cyberbullies, so they've locked stuff down temporarily. But if you remember, I reported months ago on the show about the cancellation of Mega Man Universe, which Capcom worked on for quite a while, but ultimately felt wasn't up to their standards of quality. So with those two cancellations in mind, I think a lot of us kind of suspected that maybe Capcom was killing off the Mega Man franchise altogether, but they did address that issue by saying, quote, "Mega Man is still an important franchise within Capcom's portfolio, and we will continue to pursue opportunities to create new titles in the series." About a day after Capcom released that statement, we discovered that, spoiler alert everyone, the ESRB rated Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge for the 3DS. For you young whippersnappers out there, Dr. Wily's Revenge was the first Mega Man game for the Game Boy, and I'm sure those 2-bit graphics will just look insane on the 3DS. Also coming to the eShop this year will be Pong and Tic-Tac-Toe. Nintendo, what are you doing? Look at your life. Look at your choices. This is disappointing news.
Well, hey, that's disappointing news for 3DS owners. But hey, for DS owners, last week or a couple episodes ago, they talked about the ESRB rating Sega's new Aliens Infestation, which it has cursing and buttocks and blood in it, and that's for the DS. Sega finally made an official announcement about it, and along with these screenshots, we find out that it's a 2D side-scroller action game, which is good, and there's going to be some exploration. Players will pick from 19 different Space Marines, and it's apparently going to be a lot of upgrading of weapons and armor and stuff, and the art is being done by comic book veteran Chris Bacalo, who's worked on a bunch of X-Men related stuff, such as X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Generation X, and so forth. The levels you can explore in the Infestation will include the space colony on LV-426, the Marines ship the Sulaco, and the derelict spaceship seen in Alien. And it also looks like you get to hop into a power loader and fight the Queen Alien, because that's fun. Aliens Infestation is slated for a September release, and it looks like a fine way to whet your appetite for Aliens Colonial Marines, which will not be out until next spring.
Yeah, I was saying, the screenshots make me a little bit more excited for this game, but you kind of feel the opposite, right?
I don't know what I was expecting. I was kind of hoping it was going to be like both screens were the level, like they did with Contra 4, but this is being done by WayForward, who have a really good track record for doing kind of, old school DS games, so.
Well, I'm sure we'll see some gameplay footage in the near future.
Oh, yes.
In the meantime, I've got a little factoid courtesy of John Riccitiello, the CEO of EA. He said that as of the year 2000, consoles dominated 80% of the gaming market, but with technological advances comes change. And today, apparently consoles only make up about 40% of the industry. He cited the iPad, oddly enough, as a huge provider of gaming now, saying, quote, "We have a new hardware platform and we're putting out software every 90 days. Our fastest growing platform is the iPad right now, and that didn't exist 18 months ago." He went on to argue that the current 5-year life cycle of a console isn't really a smart way to run an industry, and that focusing on the development of high-powered graphics is useless because at a certain point, power upgrades become inconsequential to the consumer. To that note, he added that there's more to be provided in terms of value for the consumer in microtransactions and social experiences, and driving those better in cross-platform gameplay between a console and a PC and a handheld device and a social network than there is supercharging graphics. You guys are consumers, right? How do you feel about the CEO of EA basically saying that microtransactions are more important than good graphics? Feel free to leave your angry and outraged comments below. I'm going to do the same right after this episode comes out. That's how angry I am.
There's a lot of math there.
Yeah, well, you know.
Let's take a word from our sponsor.
Okay.
Netflix is the fastest, cheapest, and easiest way to legally stream entertainment directly to your eyeballs. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you can instantly watch movies and TV shows on a wide variety of devices, including Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, and even on the Nintendo 3DS. Watch as many movies as you want, anytime you want. Cancel anytime and get your free trial membership. Go to netflix.com/Destructoid and sign up right now, and be sure to use that URL so that they know that we sent you. Last night I tried to watch a documentary called Because the Bible Tells Me So, which is about the church's stance on homosexuality. But that was really serious and depressing, so I just watched Hey Arnold instead. So.
Oh, another fine program. I've been making my way through News Radio, which is also an excellent show.
It is a fine program.
Highly recommended by us.
The entirety of Power Rangers is also on there, which I'm just... Go watch it, man. It's got the Dragon Zord. Anyway, one of the most bizarre games this year is the Atlas title Catherine, which hits 360 and PS3 stateside next week. And in the meantime, Destructoid's own mustachioed Conrad Zimmerman was kind enough to make us a nice little video review.
Have you ever had a dream where you died?
You mean like where you're in danger?
No, where you actually die. You're being killed or something.
No. I usually do the killing in my dreams.
Atlas's saucy little minx Catherine will be making her way to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 next week, and it's a title that's sure to turn a few heads. Despite its titillating marketing campaign, Catherine's plot remains relatively tame in terms of sexual content, and instead presents a fascinating journey into the mind of a man who has reached the crux of destiny. 32-year-old Vincent must choose between a life of peaceful contentment with his long-term partner Catherine, with a K, and the exciting mystery of a tempestuous Catherine with a C, a struggle represented each night in his dreams. Few games even attempt to deal with subject matter of this nature, let alone do it well, but Catherine's deft use of dialogue and a little well-placed misdirection keeps the story barreling forward at an impressive pace, with a total length of around 12 to 15 hours. The unlikely combination of action, puzzle, and social management gameplay elements works surprisingly well. Vincent's visits to his local bar preface the nightmares to come each night and break up the action while deepening the player's understanding of the bar's patrons and how they're all connected through their dreams. The nightmare stages consist of a simple, arcade-style puzzle game as Vincent climbs a tower which is falling away beneath his feet. It's addictive and, while playable by just about anyone on its easiest setting, offers extreme challenges for the dedicated. The compelling story, pressure-filled action, and fantastic music come together beautifully. Just like its namesake, Catherine will seduce you with its charms and then make you suffer for it. But it hurts so good, we're giving it a 9 out of 10.
Thank you for that, Conrad.
Yeah, girl. Anyway, if you want the full written review, you can head over to Destructoid.com and read Conrad's review. If you want some hands-on time, a demo is available on Xbox Live and PSN, which I checked out. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. The early trailers made it look like a hentai dating puzzle survival horror game, which sounded really exciting, but the actual game is a puzzle game with dating sim elements, and there's no tits in it, and I don't...
No tits?
No tits, egads.
And a 9 out of 10? That's outrageous.
The gameplay is addictive. I just don't know if it'll be continually addictive for 12 to 15 hours, and, you know, like I said, there's no tits. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
So here's some news for the FFTWL fans. That acronym stands for Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, the popular PSP game, which is now officially headed to the PlayStation Network. This is generally regarded as the best game in the Tactics series, and it'll be available for download as soon as tomorrow for the price of $9.99. And if the PS3 ain't yo thang, Square Enix is also working on an iOS port of the game, which was actually supposed to be out already, but got pushed back to late July earlier this month. And then about a month after that, we can see an iPad version. So there's going to be a whole bunch of versions of this game floating around.
Good. We do like versions.
Yeah.
Speaking of versions, GoldenEye 64 is arguably the most successful, the first successful console first-person shooter. It was the first
Just
one that was good.
group words
Anyway,
together to make
last
sentences.
November, Activision released a remake of it on the Wii, and since most fans of shooters don't play a lot of Wii, speculation immediately began on when the game was going to be coming to PS3 and 360, and the wait is over. GoldenEye 007 Reloaded is headed to the man consoles this winter, and it's going to be running a whole new engine to allow HD visuals and PlayStation Move support. It's also going to feature a set of MI6 ops missions, which are separate from the regular campaign, and the missions are going to have 4 different objective types, such as assault, elimination, stealth, and defense. Multiplayer obviously is a big part of GoldenEye, and Reloaded includes the classic 4-player split screen so you can shoot your friends in the face, as well as 16-player online. There will be new modes, maps, weapons, and characters. And this is all very, very exciting, but it doesn't answer the important question of whether or not Dame Judi Dench is involved. The Academy Award-winning actress has portrayed 007's boss M since the original GoldenEye movie, and she lent her voice to the Wii version of the game, but there's like no mention of her involvement with the Reloaded version. And there are pre-orders on the line here, Activision, so I want to know, Dench or no?
Dench. Anybody can get knighted these days, come on. There's a whole list on Wikipedia of celebrities who have turned down the knighting, or been knighted and then later rescinded it.
But you don't have to take my word for it. Dun-dun-dun. Sorry. That's about all for today's news.
Yeah, why don't you guys hop on over to Destructoid.com for a second and check out this week's Podtoid. If you guys don't know, it's a podcast that Max and I do with Destructoid editors Jim Sterling and Jonathan Holmes. And this week we talk about all kinds of exciting stuff, including our thoughts on the 3DS, Call of Duty, and Voldemort opening up an opium den. Yeah, just go listen to it and then rate it on iTunes because Max and I need validation.
But hey, if you like things, next episode is going to be done live. So starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and I think midnight GMT, we're going to be trying out some high-tech new thing that makes our faces look prettier over the internet, and you can type stuff at us and we will read it on the air and it'll be live. We're probably going to give away some Limbo PSN codes, so tune in then. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time, Friday, youtube.com/dtoid.
We'll see you guys there.